Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
It doesn't look like the future is quite here yet. We're going to talk about the Apple Vision Pro, the $3,500 VR headset that all the cool kids were getting. Well, apparently they're all getting migraines and bloodshot eyes, and they're returning them.
Oh.
So we're gonna talk about that. I think it's kind of interesting because I was sort of looking at like, well, is this something you want to be an early adopter of, or is it like it's just not there yet? And I'm thinking this is kind of like the Google glasses. Remember those?
Yeah, and my mom and dad actually showed me this. I was at their house, a month ago or something, and they said about these. And I said, I don't think they're going to stick. I think people aren't going to like them. No. And I think I just, it may be like you said before we started this, it's ahead of its time, which is where I think it's at. But it has the rest of the technology hasn't caught up to where it needs to be. Yeah. And I think it's an awful lot of money, and people aren't going to adopt it. And that's what I said. And here, apparently, I'm right. So, yeah.
So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do. Woohoo! Go check us out on Spotify and on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts, Amazon, all over the place. We're all over the place. We've got audio editions of Clownfish TV and our Clownfish gaming news, and we've got more podcasts on the way. So listen.
Pirates and Princesses is coming back.
Pirates and Princesses is coming back. Everything's coming back. We're all coming back. Kind of like the Apple Vision Pros to the Apple Store. They're all coming back.
Except we don't give you hemorrhaging eyes.
Well, sometimes we do.
That's why it's not on camera. There's only so much your eyes can handle.
If you turn it up real loud, we'll blow your.
Oh, I don't know. That might happen. My voice.
So here's I like your voice. Except when you're yelling at me, then I.
Sorry. Anyway, continue.
TheVerge.com. Apple fans are starting to return their Vision Pros. Comfort, headache, and eye strain are among the top reasons people say they're returning their Vision Pro headsets. Yeah, they said the honeymoon's over already. It's only been like a month, right?
Yeah.
It says no coincidence there's been an uptick on social media of Vision Pro owners saying they're returning their headsets in the past few days. Apple allows you to return any product within 14 days of purchase. And for the first wave of Vision Pro buyers, we're right about
okay, so it came out about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the people, when I saw it, they had gotten
early ones, yeah. Said comfort is among the most cited reason for returning them. People said that the headset gives them headaches and triggers motion sickness.
Oh, I can't wear them then.
The weight of the device and the fact that most of it's front-loaded has been another complaint. I'm guessing they're not used to VR because it's like we have an older Samsung Odyssey. I think it was an Odyssey headset that we got a couple of years ago during the pandemic, so Squid King could play Half-Life Alyx, which is amazing, by the way. But the headset's clunky and it's heavy, and I couldn't wear it for hours at a time. They said, the Verge's product manager told me that he thought using the device led to burst blood vessels in his eye.
This is actually the product manager from the
from The Verge. At least one other person noted they had a similar experience with redness. Apparently there's a whole thing about this with Oculus too. Like, you can do it in small doses. Like I can do VR in small doses, but there's no way I could do it.
But they want you to keep this on all the time. I know when I saw the commercials for it, it's like, you can watch movies and you can look through the thing too, like with your phone calls, if you're doing like Skype and all that kind of stuff. Right. And I'm like, to leave it on the amount of time they'd want you to leave it on, it sounds like it might be a problem. Yeah.
So much for the metaverse, right? Yeah. Like, they said, despite being as magical to use as I'd hoped, and people say it's actually good if you can tolerate it, it was simply way too uncomfortable to wear, even for short periods of time, both due to the weight and the strap designs. I wanted to use it, but dreaded putting it on. This is their product manager, Parker Ortolani, who also posted about returning the device. It's just too expensive and unwieldy to even try to get used to the constant headaches and eye strain I was experiencing. I'll be back for the next one.
But Disney wants to go all in on this.
Yeah.
They're like pushing this.
Yeah, they want to do like virtual Disney World or something.
I'm all about that. I mean, they did a virtual Disney thing where you can put on VR headset and go to Disney World. I'd be down for it, especially you could do like extinct attractions. Even if you had to pay like a monthly fee to use it, I would pay that. Because it's way cheaper than going the whole way down there. But the $3,500 to the headset that causes your eyes to bleed isn't probably the best way to do it.
So with smartwatches, you can size them. It boils down to the size and weight of the case compared to your wrist. With smart rings, it's the size of your finger. Many people are uncomfortable or unfortunately between sizes or have issues with finger swelling for smart glasses and headsets. Having a low nose bridge can mean the device slips off your face or falls or fails to adequately block out light. Hardware isn't the only issue. Another common complaint is the Vision Pro doesn't offer enough productivity relative to the price.
The price is ridiculous.
Like here, this person here says, 2 hours after unboxing my Apple Vision Pro and using it, I decided to box it back up again and return it. It's quite cool, but there's nothing in it for me that I'll use frequently enough to warrant my keeping it.
To warrant the price tag.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like $3,500 to do what? That's kind of like when
to say you have it.
To say you have it. That is the purpose of the latest Apple gizmo, is to say you have it.
It's Apple. And then in a year, there'll be another one and you'll be expected to buy that one too. And so on and so on.
Yeah. So here, a user noted on Threads. That is funny. I didn't know anybody was using Threads. That looking at Figma screens made them feel dizzy and the device wasn't applicable to their work. An engineer wrote on social media platform X, the coding experience failed to convince him and focusing issues caused headaches. They were trying to make out like, oh, look, you can look at this big like virtual whiteboard and you can do all your work here, whatever. I'm like, or you could try, typing on a Google Doc or a Microsoft Doc or something, or an actual whiteboard. People use those.
Or you can try the real world.
Or you can try the real world. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you can watch a movie, or you could watch it on your computer or TV. I'm just pointing that out there. And it's not $3,500 to do so.
Wow. So they said a lot of people are returning them on Instagram here. If I'm not using this for productivity and I don't love it for entertainment, and if there aren't enough games to play on it, I can't justify keeping it.
Right. It's really expensive.
$3,500. You could buy multiple gaming laptops for that, by the way.
There's another person, a senior manager working in community management and moderation at Google.
Yeah. Remember Google Glasses? No, you don't. Nobody remembers Google Glasses because they were dumb. I do, but I'm saying that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this was like Apple's trying to make Google Glasses happen again, and they were stupid then, and it's stupid now. And the Google Glasses did not cost that much. And that was more practical because it was just a pair of glasses. Like if they could get this thing down to just being like a pair of sunglasses.
That was people's complaint too about that, was that he said it was difficult to multitask between windows. Several file types simply aren't supported on the Vision Pro, and I also can't see how creating a slide in the VP would be less energy than doing it with a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're in Minority Report.
That's what it looks like when people were doing the VP. Yeah, it's like they're pinching and squeezing. It doesn't even make any sense what they're doing. So this isn't quite the groundbreaking application I think that they were hoping for. I think they thought this was going to be another, Macintosh, where it was like, oh my God, this changes everything. And even then when the Macs came out, they were insanely expensive. And it was just like, oh my God, you're going to spend thousands of dollars to do word processing, guys. It's like a typewriter, but on a screen. And people are like, why can't I just use a typewriter? Because this is on a screen. And trust me, bro, you're going to need it. And yeah, I mean, it's commonplace now. So it could just be that
it's easier to delete and everything else. I mean, I just think, like you said, I think it's ahead of its time. I don't think that the people are like, it's so expensive, and I think the price point is offsetting to people. Yeah. And I think when you see all the more you can do with it, it's not worth the money at this point. That doesn't mean that after a few years when they can develop more for it and maybe fix some of the issues, that won't be the case. But for right now, it's not worth the cost and the headaches and the bleeding eyes.
Yeah. It's like, what else does it do to you,
It reminds me of Ready Player One. We figured out you can cover the screen with this many ads before, it induces seizures.
Yeah, pretty much. And I had a hard time. Like, I love Half-Life Alyx. It's amazing. It was actually, that was a better VR experience than what we paid for at Disney World. Went to the Void and they did the Star Wars thing.
Shocker.
And
Disney.
Yeah, Half-Life Alyx was a better experience at home than that was. It's absolutely amazing. That being said, I can only play it for about a half an hour, 45 minutes, before I'm just completely sick because it's dizzying. It does, in my case, it hurts my face because I wear glasses. So I have to put the screen over the glasses, and it's just like, yeah, this sucks. And then it's really disorienting. So I just imagine a lot of people, especially if they're not used to VR, are going to have a hard time with it. Not quite the win that Apple was hoping for. No. Sorry. What is Apple doing? Like when Steve Jobs was in charge, RIP, He gave us devices that were like transformative, and it seems like the phones are getting bigger and clunkier and more expensive.
Because now it's just about money. It's not about being transformative and inventive.
No.
It's like, ironically, Bob Iger has been on their board, recent years, and he also wants to not be inventive and just give you things that are clunky, crappy, and charge you more money. But yeah, it's not about being inventive anymore, and they're not going to go back to him anytime soon unless they find a way to actually make a Ouija board work. I don't think that they're going to have his input.
Yeah, I know, right?
Moving forward.
Iger's the guy who took a bunch of his money that Disney gave him and he invested in Funko and that burned and the metaverse.
Metaverse and like the
NFTs or something.
Yeah.
And so this is like, I don't know, guys. I think eventually this technology will be commonplace, but it needs to be a lot more, it needs to be more accessible. It needs to be better. I think if you could take the technology of the Apple Vision and put it into the Google glasses with the weight of the Google glasses, I think that would probably work. But even then, do you want people wearing these glasses all the time and trying to multitask while walking?
I'm just thinking about people getting killed playing Pokemon Go. I don't even know what's going to happen.
Like, people are getting killed playing Pokemon Go. People are getting hit by cars because they're texting on, you know what I'm saying? If you've got them wearing glasses and they can see shit in front of them all the time.
Well, they apparently can see where they're going and stuff too, but it would be funny if it would be funny. Well, not funny, but it would be funny if like they were dependent on the goggles to show them where they were going. And so the camera was just lagging by a couple seconds and they thought they were stopping at the edge of the cliff to look down, but they actually walked over it because it lagged, or something like that, or walked into traffic and you know what's going to happen.
This is just, I don't know, guys. So there it is. I mean, I looked at this, and normally I like new gadgets, but I'm like, $3,500 for this? Are you freaking kidding me? And that's Disney's betting on this. They want people to go to their virtual theme parks. I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. We're going to wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.